Well, when we talk about, again, that's a phrase that we've borrowed from the Apostle Paul. When we talk about, we don't preach ourselves, but Jesus is Lord, and your servants for Jesus' sake. What we mean by that is a level of humility in the life of the believer that realizes that evangelism is relational. It's deeply relational, and of course, there's there's a much greater appeal, and in styles of evangelism that are non-relational. So if I can just shout at the people in my town through a megaphone on a Saturday afternoon, I feel I've discharged my duty, I've told them the gospel. Or if I can put leaflets through the door and they might read them, I feel I've discharged my responsibility. Well, there is a communication going on there. But in the New Testament, what we find consistently from the Lord Jesus and from the apostles is a relational aspect to this. The Lord Jesus came into the world to save sinners. That's what he said he came to do. So he could have done that from a distance, but he came, and he came as a man. And Paul, in his example in 1 Corinthians 9, talks about being the slave of everyone, the Jews, those under the law, those not having the law, which would have been a very tough crowd for Paul, and the weak, probably a reference to ceremonial weakness. And he talked about building bridges, so serving people at that level, relational bridges over which the gospel can travel. And again, in 1 Thessalonians, one of the most stunning verses to me, when he's looking back on his evangelism in Thessalonica, he says there, we loved you so much that we shared with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well, because you'd become so dear. So we're trying to say, as part and parcel of this course that we've developed, that having time to have a meal and to break bread with people and just to chill out with them and ask them about their week and their family and take an interest in them and genuinely not see them as targets, but as people created in the image of God, dislocated from Him, and longing that by His grace they will reconnect with Him as we share Christ. So relational values are very high.